Hello, everyone, and welcome to Metro TV. I'm your host, Andy Hoig, CEO and publisher of Metro Magazine. Today, we'll be talking to the Children's Hospital and Medical Center, the Victory Writing Academy, and Grief's Journey. So don't go away. We'll be right back. I am here with Valerie Height. She is the program director, Grief's Journey. Valerie, thank you so much for joining me today. So let's just talk a little bit about Grief's Journey and what is the mission behind this organization?
Yeah. So we're a nonprofit organization, and we believe that everybody should have a place to be able to grieve, and that nobody should be able to grieve alone, or should have to grieve alone, I should say. And so we provide support groups for the community members for ages 3 and above. And we also provide a lot of education on grief and loss.
And how long has this organization been around?
Yeah, so we started in 2001.
Okay. And it was, what is it, Teddy Bear
Hollow
was the original, and then you changed to Grief's Journey maybe like 2 or 3 years ago?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And you have some really wonderful events coming, around the year. So I've done the walk, the Remembrance Walk, which is just hugely impactful, and there's so many great families and everybody coming out into supporting ones that they've lost.
Yeah.
And then you had the Comfort Food Classic, which was not too long ago.
Correct.
But let's talk about this conference coming up. The 6th annual Grief Awareness Conference.
Yeah, so it's our, like you said, our 6th one, and it's really a chance for professionals and anybody in the community to come out and to be able to listen to some different speakers, present on different topics related to grief and loss. So we'll have a keynote speaker. Her name is Heather Stang, and she has written a book, and she started meditation centers throughout the U.S., and she'll be talking about mindfulness and grief.
Okay, and kind of what is her story? Do you know a little bit about
Yeah, so I know that she's experienced lots of different losses in her life. She's heavily involved in TAPS and different hospice companies throughout the U.S.
Yeah, so the conference, what can people expect? And again, is it just for professionals, or can individuals come?
Yeah, so anybody can come. We welcome the whole community to go ahead and come on over. We do provide continuing education credits for professionals, mental health professionals and social workers.
Which is really important. So the date of the event again is?
November 21st.
Okay, and how do you register?
So you can just go on our website at griefsjourney.org, and you can click on the events tab, and it'll take you right there.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. I feel like, grief is something that we all experience in our life. And how has that, I love that there's so much more kind of, not focus on it, but there's more outlets for people to get help or to get support. It's not even help, it really is support, and to feel like, you're not grieving alone.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things Grief's Journey does.
Yeah, that's our whole mission, is just to make sure that people have a place to get that support and to destigmatize grief, because our society has a tendency to turn away from it and to not really embrace, helping people and listening to them.
Yeah. Okay, so again, event is on November
21st.
And they can go to your website to sign up.
Correct.
And it's a full day.
It is a full day. It goes from 8:30 to 4:30. And we'll have not only our morning breakout speaker or a morning keynote, but we also have several breakout speakers from across the Omaha area and the U.S. And then Jacob Dahlke of the Nebraska Medicine Center, he'll be coming and providing our luncheon keynote as well on ethics.
And it's at?
The Creighton Harper Center, Creighton University.
All right. Well, anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Or anything else that you want to you want to add?
No, just that I think the most important thing is to know that we're here to support the whole community and the region. We really want to make sure that people know that they can contact us if they know of somebody who is experiencing grief, not just from death, but also from things like serious illnesses or immigration challenges. We also provide support for those areas as well.
And it really is across the board. I mean, I know Teddy Bear Hollow was more like for children, but is this really like parents?
Yep,
daughters,
it's for everybody.
Grandparents. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we start at age 3 and we go
Yeah.
all the way up.
Yeah.
So anybody can attend. We have family groups and we determine family very loosely. So it's really whatever that person feels like is their family. So that's for kids and adults. And then we also have an adults only group as well.
Okay.
In addition to a serious illness group and an immigration support group.
All right.
So.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are doing such amazing work, and this conference coming up, please register and learn from it and be supported. So again,
thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Valerie. And we will be right back. Well, I'm here with Tony Barnes, president, founder of Victory Riding Academy. Tony, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I love your organization and what you do, but I want people that aren't familiar with it, and talk to me a little bit. Why did you start, give me the history of the Victory Riding Academy.
We were at a facility and we saw what a horse actually did for a person. Just the soothing, the comforting, the smiles that came on the faces when they got on the horse. And we just took a passion to it. We decided this was something we wanted to do. My wife grew up on horseback and we had the horse industry background. And we decided that was something we wanted to do. Well, we started off just working with special needs and wanting to go down the path of special needs. And we still do, but we really saw a focus needed on military, police, first responders, and their families. And the biggest part of that is their families.
And how long ago was that? I mean, when did you found this?
That was back in 2009 that we first started going.
You're celebrating 10 years.
Yes, ma'am. And we started actually in 2009 with the idea, and got it developed in 2010 and became a nonprofit in 2012.
Okay. And so again, you kind of started off with the disability piece of it, or the healing piece of it,
Yes.
And then kind of moved into how veterans, military, that really helps them as well.
That is correct. The PTSD part of it really touched our hearts. Both of our fathers were veterans, and her dad was in Vietnam and was shot, and my dad was on the USS Forrestal when it caught fire.
Wow.
So both of them suffered from PTSD, and we didn't understand that back then.
Yeah.
And when we first realized what it can do to a healing and soothing of the mind and body and soul, we decided that was the path we really wanted to pursue.
And I met you, I think we connected, was it a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, when I came out and visited your place. Horses are very healing souls.
Yes, they are.
And I think I just personally, just what you're doing is just so amazing, to bringing these horses. And how do you get the horses? I mean, and who are the horses? Because they're these individual souls that you're connecting with human beings.
Yes. Most of them, a lot of ours were donated.
Yeah.
We specially picked them out. We just don't take any horse, but when they were donated to us, they went through a lot of training to make sure they were going to fit into our programs and be able to be used as therapy horses. Some of them we purchased because they were the right fit right away and we knew it. And that's kind of where they came from. A lot of people reached out to us in the very beginning and said, hey, do you need horses? And we said yes. And we started going through that program with them.
How many horses do you have?
We have 13 now. We have 2 ponies, 11 full size.
Okay. And how can people, I mean, obviously having horses and ponies and you being a nonprofit, you need help from the community. And
Yes.
again, like I said, we're going to talk about your event in a little bit that's coming up, but how can people support you? I mean, what kind of support do you need?
We need donations. Cash donations are great because they really do stretch them. We stretch them as much as we can. We are all volunteers. Nobody's paid staff.
Yeah.
So every penny that's raised, we actually bring into the organization to help with our programs, to feed our horses. Because our horses are a therapist, that's where our biggest amount of money goes to. And we have a hay supplier, but getting the money in for $18,000 a year in hay is an awful lot. And then the medical bills, we have a bunch of medical bills with horses that have to be done every year, shots and teeth and things like that. So donating through the website and through Omaha Gives, which we're a part of, and coming to our events and our fundraising events really helps out a lot.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your events, because I mean, everybody like your Facebook page, because you also are always pushing out information on that. But I see you have a lot of events that are kind of like come out to the community or come out and help push hay or come out and help us do things. You have a lot of events that invite volunteers to come and help you.
Absolutely. Volunteering, a lot of our volunteers become the VRA family.
Yeah.
And volunteering, you get to spend time with the horses, you get to spend time with other people. It's fellowshipping time to be able to meeting other people in the community, be able to work side by side, and fulfilling at the very end of the day that you actually were able to be part of that. And then our volunteers are going through horsemanship training to be able to learn how to work with the students. And that's very rewarding as well. And we do a lot of that training. We don't charge anything for our training for our volunteers. We work really diligently to make that happen for them.
Let's talk a little bit about the students, because you do a lot with kids. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about that as well. Okay. Go a little bit more in depth with that.
Sure. Yeah, we do. A lot of it is grooming of the horses, teaching them. We're really big into education, so we want to teach the kids about the horses, how to approach horses, the safety part of the horses, and being able to get them around the horses. And when they get on, it's just an amazing smile. A lot of them are really amazed about how far they can see and the height that they're at.
Yeah.
And our volunteers are great because we put a volunteer on each side to make sure the student and the rider is feeling comfortable and confident in their ride. And it's just amazing watching the transformation go from a very maybe scared or not sure to a very confident student.
Yeah.
rider.
Oh my gosh, I just thank you so much for what you're doing for the kids, for the students, for the community. So let's talk about your event coming up.
Yeah, we have a Halloween party. We love Halloween. We bring the kids over. We do costume contests with the kids, and they get a trophy at the very end for the best costume. And we do a little bit of trick or treating, so they get candy and things like that. They get horse rides. We have food and a bunch of games. We like to have a lot of fun with the kids, and what's funner than having games and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, of course, of course.
They get a chance to introduce and meet all the horses as well.
Right. What's the date of the event?
October 26th, Saturday, October 26th, from 2 to 5 at our property.
And is there a charge to attend? Do you want a donation?
We're asking for a $10 per person donation.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a 3-hour event, and we're going to have music and a whole bunch of fun stuff to do that day.
Well, again, again, we kind of connected a year and a half ago. Horses are just such amazing souls, and they are so healing. And I just want to say thank you for seeing that and bringing, these kids together with horses, and also helping veterans and people that, are going through some tough times, because I think horses I think are smarter than we are.
They are, and they don't have an expectation.
They don't.
They don't.
There's not a judgment. There's not an expectation. They're just there to be, and they really support us.
Yes, ma'am.
So, website where people can get more information again.
www.victoryride.org.
Okay. And you've got a great Facebook page too, so I encourage everybody to go like your Facebook page. Lots of great information. So, Tony, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And we will be right back. Well, joining me now is Ann Anderson-Berry, MD, PhD. You're the interim executive director for the Child Health Research Institute. Ann, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, Andy, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about who you are and let's talk, first of all, who you are.
Sure. Well, I am a professor of pediatrics in the Department of Pediatrics at UNMC and Children's Hospital and Medical Center, and the division chief of the Division of Neonatology. And recently I've taken on the role of the interim executive director of the Children's Health Research Institute, which is something I'm very excited to talk about today.
And also, I mean, we're so excited because I'm going to just kind of flip this around. The cover of our October issue that just came out really talks about all of this important research and why it actually is important. So let's talk a little bit about that. Why is pediatric research so important? And why do you find it so compelling?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And children are our future.
Yeah.
And so how would we want to invest in anything but our future? We know that children have a multitude of diseases. They're not little adults. They have different diseases. And we need to understand that so we can make an impact in their lives early in life. Then we'll have a decades-long impact, and we'll have an intergenerational impact.
Yeah.
There's good evidence to show that the environment that fetuses and children are in impacts not only them, but their children and their grandchildren. And so we need to understand more about this.
So, I mean, I'm looking at some of the questions that I love these. For viewers unfamiliar with the Child Health Research Institute, tell us about the collaboration and the work that it does for children.
Yeah.
It's kind of a new, I haven't
It's a brand new institute.
Okay.
No, you should. Yeah, this is kind of our rolling out. So we
Yeah.
were approved by the Board of Regents at the University of Nebraska in 2018. This is a wonderful collaboration between Children's Hospital and Medical Center and UNMC. So it's the newest institute, one of only 3 on campus, and it is dedicated entirely to understanding diseases and health of children.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are you?
I'm a neonatologist.
Okay, all right.
Yes, that means I take care of premature and sick neonates right after delivery. And so my work and my research is around the perinatal period. So I'm interested in nutrition in particular, and not only what babies eat, especially sick babies, but also what moms eat and how that impacts their health status, how that impacts the pregnancy, and then how that impacts the life of the infant going forward. So really, really talking about that intergenerational things. And you'd be amazed, here in the heartland, in the breadbasket of the United States, we're seeing vitamin deficiencies in our delivering moms that are equal to vitamin deficiencies that we see in sub-Saharan Africa. So this is work that we can really do to make an impact on the health of children, not only here, but across the world.
And why do you think that is? I mean, what's happening here that we're not understanding, or is it just education? I mean, I know there's so many different groups of people in our community that don't have adequate health care, or they don't have,
Right. So what we found is that many of our delivering moms have food insecurity. That means they might not know where their next meal is coming from. They might have transportation insecurities. So we know there are food deserts across the Omaha and Nebraska region, and they might not be able to get to places where fresh, healthy food is available, and so they're relying more on those foods of convenience that are processed, not high in nutrients, not high in those fat-soluble vitamins that help build babies and help build babies' brains, as well as decrease inflammation to lead to a healthy pregnancy. So that's what we're finding with our research.
And so let's just wrap back around. How are you helping? Are you educating the mothers? What is your role again?
Right. So in my research, we are trying to understand the deficiencies first, because no one has ever described this in the United States.
Sure.
We think of this as a third world problem, not a first world problem. And so understanding what the magnitude of the trouble is, and then understanding what the consequences of that are to the infant, and then having interventions, whether they're medical interventions or public health interventions, to alleviate the deficiencies and move forward will be our next steps.
Yeah, which is so, I mean, it's just so important. So I just want to thank you for everything that you're doing. So let's talk about the new building going up on 84th and Dodge Street, the Hubbard Center for Children. Tell me about that.
It is going to be amazing. This is
Yeah.
such a highly needed resource
Yeah.
for the children of Omaha, Nebraska, and this region. Most people don't know, but there are times almost every year when we have to turn children away from being admitted to Children's Hospital and Medical Center and send them to other cities because we don't have the bed capacity to care for them. We have the skill, we have the intent, but there is no room at the inn. And
Right.
so we're sending people away that we should be able to care for here. And so with the expansion of beds in the Hubbard Center for Children, we're going to be able to serve our population and our Omaha and Nebraska kids. We're going to have an expanded neonatal intensive care center. So that is my unit. So I'm really excited for that. It's going to be state of the art. And we're also going to have a phenomenal cardiac care unit. And so that's going to be a great asset to the wonderful cardiac team that is at Children's that many people know about. And we're also going to have increased capacities in pediatric oncology. Pediatric oncology and the cardiac team are also big components of the Child Health Research Institute.
Right.
And so you'll see our mission at Children's and with CHRI or the Child Health Research Institute really aligns with the clinical, the research, and the community. We're bringing everything together to serve our population, and that's really what we're driving for. Research is in our mission, clinical care is in our mission, and it's all to help our children.
How can people get involved with, how can they support you, or how can they get involved with, you know, whether financially or volunteering, or what do you need?
There are so many different ways to get involved. One exciting way that we have coming up is our Children's Gala.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
going to be amazing.
Like
And
4 weeks or 3 weeks
yeah,
or
I
something?
think
Yeah.
November 9th
Yeah.
is when that is. And all of the details are on children'somaha.org/gala. But it's going to be a aviation-based theme.
Okay, I
And we
love
have
that.
Andy Grammer,
Yeah.
who is a pop star. Everybody will know his songs.
Yeah.
He'll be there. We'll have silent and live auctions, a raffle, a wonderful opportunity to highlight some of the families that we have served over the last decade. And it's just going to be a great event. So if people are interested in getting tickets or donating money there, that would be great. We also have an active volunteer services,
Right.
and they can find that information on that same website
Yeah.
without the gala. Yeah.
Before we go, anything else you'd like to share about what you're doing? I mean, we kind of covered a lot, but
Yeah, I think that it's important for your viewers to understand and for the Omaha community to understand that it's a partnership between
Yeah.
Children's Hospital and Medical Center, UNMC, the community, and it's all for our children.
Yeah.
And we need their support. So
Yeah.
pediatric research is expensive. It's critical to the care of our children moving forward, and it's really underfunded as compared to adult research. And so we need to lay the ground with the rolling out of the Child Health Research Institute for helping the community understand that this is a public-private partnership.
Absolutely.
And we all have to move forward together if we want the best
Yeah.
outcomes for our Nebraska children.
yeah. And thank you so much for coming. And I will say, cover story for our October issue that just came out. You can read it online at spiritofomaha.com, and it's available throughout the community. Just really important stuff, so thank you so much.
Well, thank you for the opportunity
Yeah,
to talk
you're
about
welcome.
these exciting opportunities for our kids.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
All right.
And we will be right back. Thank you so much for joining me today. I encourage you to go to spiritofomaha.com. We are still taking nominations for your favorite charity event, Executive Director, Volunteer of the Year. Enter all that information through the end of October 31st. Spiritofomaha.com, like us on Facebook, and we will see you back here next week.